Hi, Holly. How are you? How's everyone filing in? Everyone watching the replay? It's going good today. It was busy today too. Not as much as yesterday, but um, I had a Mother's Day tea party at the kids' school for first grade. So I was splitting myself up between the twins' classrooms over an hour. I was like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Um, so yeah, those things are always fun. Hello, how are you? Just sharing this real quick. Okay, there we go. One more. And there we go. Hey, Ben. Went golfing, had dinner, and now you're sitting in the rain. That sounds amazing. I love storms. When I lived in Kansas, I was also like between the ages of 18 and 21. But we would get a tornado warning or something, and I would go sit outside and watch the sky sit in the rain until it hailed. The hail hurts, but yeah, I like storms. They're comforting. I love it. Chaos. Hi, Sonia. How are you, beauty? All right. Is everybody getting ready for the weekend? Any big plans? I don't think I have really any big plans. Just taking care of stuff around the house, taking care of projects, work, stuff like that, as usual. I just heard a bang on the other side of the wall, and I'm like, what was that? But there's no crying, there's no screaming or anything, so we're good. All right. We'll go ahead and start getting into things, I suppose. One of my cards was wet. Free golf on Sunday. Nice. Hey, Matt. How are you, love? Doing really, really well today. My car is driving like a dream. I didn't realize it was so quiet. It's never been as quiet as it is now since all of that engine work's been done. It's like you can't even hear it when it's on. Oh, so fun. All right, let's see. Ooh. So we got stuff about discernment all through the reading, okay? So use discernment, okay? They have bad intentions is showing up bottom of the deck energy. You can't see the comments, Ben? Try exiting the app and then coming back in and see if that helps. Hey, Princess. Princess is watching over on YouTube. So they have bad intentions showing up. And right behind that, a male is spying on you. Ugh. Hey, Wendy. How are you, beauty? So these, it's icky. This can apply differently for each individual. Obviously, not everyone's dealing with the same crazy male spying on you with bad intentions. Hi, Dale. But things surfacing, okay? This doesn't necessarily have to be someone that's, got some kind of vendetta or something. Hi, Cassandra. Um, It could also be just someone that is, I keep hearing the word vengeance. That's not for everyone, okay? I keep hearing the word vengeance. Um, so protect yourself, block yourself. If you need to like do restraining orders or anything like that, I know it's only paper. Um, do whatever you need to do to make sure that you and yours are safe, solid, and secure. There are safe houses and things. I'm bringing this up. I don't know why, but if you're trying to leave or thinking about leaving a toxic, abusive situation, there are safe houses. There are programs in place to help you. Okay. Um, anyway, aside from that, it could just be someone that is, I don't know why. This is so weird. Coveting thy neighbor's wife. I heard, I don't know. I don't know why it's getting biblical. Somebody that's been watching the last couple of days um, has some biblical stuff, has some religious stuff. Okay. Um, but what the point that I'm trying to get at before they keep throwing all these weird words at me is it could just be someone who is jealous, okay? Jealousy and envy. Um, so take it how it resonates for you. Oh, today's events. Ooh. Um, sorry to hear that. That's never fun to deal with. But things are surfacing. Devil card showing up in the reverse. Okay, this is they have no control over you anymore, and whatever context this applies for you, this could be you just cutting it off with a friend who's always jealous and envious of you, that's always like side-eyeing what you're getting and great things that are happening for you, because there's not a lot of good happening for them with their current frequency. So it could be as simple as you're not allowing this energy to affect you anymore. You are going on a spiritual diet. Okay, diet only uh, only put in. That's with your content, your interactions, the people that you entertain in your life, the connections that you have, making sure that they are healthy for you, right? And it's okay to get junk every now and then. Okay, it's okay to eat junk every now and then. But really streamlining the frequencies that you are taking on as well. Suppressed emotions need a healthy outlet, and organize your life. Showing up here. Queen of Cups showing up in the reverse on the bottom of the deck as well. You could be all up in your emotions, or someone else could be projecting onto you and they're all up in their emotions. They're, still not able to overcome the maybe intrusive thoughts or reprogramming their behavior. They're not putting in the work. So it's time for you to let go of these people. Fake friends is also showing up on the bottom of the deck. So letting go of posers in your life, okay? People that are connected to you just for how they can benefit from you, or just by way of sapping your energy, because energy vampires, that's their way of benefiting from you. So understanding and really it's like you've been really noticing significantly the energies that are draining you, because it's become more pronounced. You can't really stand being around these people or in these situations or anything like that without being completely drained like super fast. So you are learning who is for you and who is not so much for you. They're saying sage and cleanse. Okay, this card actually did come out as I was shuffling. Sage and cleanse, we have custody issues. This could be causing you issues with work, could be custody issues with your children, just issues in general. Okay, it doesn't always have to apply to like child custody or anything like that. But understanding that that is something that is serious, that would seriously impact those involved. So this is like you, and it's like us versus them, or other. So cleanse these. It's like all kinds of junk. I'm seeing all kinds of debris, and it's like shrapnel and like the green mucusy boogery type energy that I'm seeing. It's just like it's all just a big glob of all kinds of different things that are just, and it's like snowballing. Okay, you can stop it. You can sidestep by cleansing this shit from your life, because they're wearing masks. That's all they do. You know this. So once you come to this realization, or once you apply this spiritual diet, right? Only taking in what is healthy and positive for you. This is whenever you get that chariot and you move forward. Hello, humble beginnings. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Wendy. Whoever this is, I hope things straighten out. Yeah, me too. Yes, more intuitive, definitely. Definitely. So chariot, balance moving forward. Okay, we talked about this yesterday. We had the chariot come out. Okay, things moving forward with that chariot. We have the money is coming card. So money is coming, abundance is coming. Whether you've started to see it in your experience yet or not, doesn't matter. It's coming. Okay. So, like we've been talking about, paying attention to the green flags, paying attention to these signs that, yes, your manifestation is coming to fruition, even if that's someone else getting the same kind of thing that it is, that's what you want, but you haven't yet received yours. That's just more proof that, hey, you're next, your time is coming. You have manifested so close to you in your reality, because this person has gotten that thing. So sit tight, you're next. Okay, so the money is coming, but you have to unburden yourself from all of these things that are tying you down, that are um, sapping you of your energy. You are the creator. Okay, you are the magician. Magician actually did come out too. You have all the tools and all of the knowledge, all of the wisdom that you need. The infinity sign showing up here, and that's going to make itself known again, right here in the center of the reading, but I'm not there yet. So you are the magician. You may not see it, right? You may not believe it yet. This is crossroads energy. This is step into your power and be who you truly are, and receive all that you are truly worthy of receiving, or continue down this self-destructive path. It's all up to you. Tap into your gifts. Okay, look at that vortex on that card. It's like the eye of a storm right there. Um, I don't even know actually what that is even supposed to be, this picture on the card. But to me, it's like seeing a huge hurricane, over the ocean getting ready to make landfall. So you are powerful. You're a powerful creator. The magician is right there talking about how powerful you are, how you have everything that you need. Um, but you need to quit giving your energy to these situations that do not serve you, that just take from you, that cause you to devalue yourself even. Stop, smile, you will win the court case. If you're in an actual court case, here's your confirmation. But this is just like I talked about with this custody issues card. This, whoever your opposition is, it doesn't matter. You are overcoming things. And even if it doesn't even look like it right now in your immediate circumstances, it's because things are changing, right? It takes actual time in this dense reality that we live in for things to tangibilize once they've been created in the quantum. So these things are surfacing, so you can clear them out to make room, so you can free your soul. Okay, free yourself. This is ultimate freedom. And we had the devil show up in the reverse. This is you overcoming those things that bound you. that once bound you. Ace of Swords. This is, truth, clarity, precision, I heard. Yes, peace within. That's what it's all about. And we're actually, Cassandra, I love that you said that before I even got over there because it's all over here. So that clarity coming in, right? You are no longer playing the game. You know things aren't moving forward because you have to put down the purse. You have to lay down the burden, okay? That big ass stack of wands, you're putting it down. You're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to learn the lesson and then I'm going to pick myself up and I'm going to move forward. I'm going to create and structure the reality that I deserve because I am source. I am God. I am creator. You are the creator. You're the creation and the creator. Okay? So create. That's what you're doing. New home. You can actually be moving into a new home, but this is more so coming home within yourself after this rebirth. We have the death card showing up in the reverse. After a significant rebirth, look at you, Queen of Pentacles. You're in that feminine energy. Okay, whether you're biologically male, female, I don't care what you identify as. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us. And it's when those are imbalanced that nothing is going to go your way, that you're not going to see things clearly. Okay. So you are in this divine feminine energy, this pentacles energy, where pentacles are the tangible things. Pentacles are the things that you can touch, okay, that you can see in front of your face with your human eyes. This is you being abundant in all ways in the tangible realm. I mean, new home, okay, business trip, you could be traveling, or you could be having business improving significantly, a rebirth in your business or the work that you do. This could be getting a raise, a promotion, a completely new and better job. There's so many ways that this can play out depending on what you're experiencing. But we have home showing up over here too. Different deck, card number 44. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 is infinity, right? 8 is abundance. And we have the new home card with home here. So coming back home within yourself, being stable, solid, secure, not having to worry or be in lack because you learned. Aha, that school courses card, you learned. Okay, you learned how to overcome that. So you're just always in this divine feminine energy, you Queen of Pentacles, manifesting whatever it is that you want. Because you know you don't have to chase down what is meant for you. And what is meant for you? What is that? What's meant for you? Anything and everything you want, need, and desire. Simple as that. You have to come to the understanding and belief of that within yourself. And you might have to sift and sort through a bunch of shadows and traumas and all kinds of stuff until you get there. Doesn't matter how long it takes. Okay? The becoming is in the journey. That's how you learn. Hi, Susan. Bottom of the deck. Peace, tranquility, and acceptance. Look at her home right there behind her on this card. You're coming home to the truth of who you really are, to your abundance, to your security, to your authenticity. Okay? And it's peaceful. It's peaceful as fuck. I'll tell you that much. Because I've been there for a long time. And someone would have to be pretty damn special for me to even entertain the thought of adding them to my life. Okay? Consistency is key, right? Confidently repeating the patterns. So the patterns, the new programming that you've done on your mind, your emotions, spiritually, you are becoming more spiritually attuned. Your gifts are becoming more online. They're increasing because you've been consistent, because you yeah, have had a lot of trauma, a lot of wounds, but you've been healing, you've been consistent, you have, uncovered this treasure trove of value within yourself because you're loving all of the parts of yourself that were once unlovable to someone else. You've built that sacred space, and that's within you. That home, that's within you. Sorry, guys, I just realized I didn't turn on my microphone. I didn't even get it out. I hook up the thing to my phone, but then I don't pull out the actual microphone. It's like half the time I forget that thing. Sorry, guys. Okay. We have patience also showing up here. Okay. Be patient while things are becoming, while things are starting to tangibilize. That's card number 13 with that divine feminine energy. Patience, waiting with calmness. Okay. Waiting for what? Divine inspiration. We have that masculine energy showing up now. Okay. So being patient and then acting on divine inspiration. This is movement into balance. Okay. This is the balance we're always talking about. We have the safety card showing up also, but it'll just keep talking forever unless I, place these boundaries, which we're getting to next. Love, life's purpose, self-love, right? She's got band-aids on her heart. She is blossoming with this abundance of love for herself. Oh, good. I'm glad you could hear me. It might just be clearer with the microphone. I don't know. I guess it helps. But this is you becoming love. Okay, that's your job. That's the blueprint. That's the whole point. Card number 30 breaks down to number 3. 3 and 0, though. 3 is creation. 0 is source, God, whatever you want to call it, the alpha, the omega, whatever. Okay. So you are that God force, that source that is creating. And it's an all loving source. And you're really starting to anchor that in your heart space. Psychic development. You have been growing through a lot. Haven't we all? You have been growing through so much. Okay. You've been listening to your intuition. That's very apparent with this divine feminine energy all over this reading. So you've been open to receiving this guidance. You've been applying it with that divine inspired action. Okay. That's what it's all about. That's the stuff of creation. Omens. Pay attention to the signs. Okay. This is bringing light to the darkness. Light is also known as information. Okay. When they talk about light in the Bible and ancient texts, even now, okay, being enlightened, light is knowledge, information, wisdom. Okay. I named my son Lucian because it means the bringer of light. So you're bringing light to these shadows or these things that you might not have wanted to see before, or it's being, forcibly shown upon you for the reason of boundaries, dividing line. Okay. Now is the time to place your boundaries, to enforce your boundaries because you love yourself. Okay. Because you need to keep yourself safe and protected. All right. So honor your boundaries and make others observe your boundaries. Okay. They don't have to honor them, they have to observe them. because you are that important, because you matter that much. They're saying no go. The Fool card showing up right here. This is card number 0. That source, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. Okay. This is no go. False alarm. This is, wait a minute. You need to practice discernment here. Okay. So if something is stuck, not moving forward, and there's a lot of draining energy surrounding it, this situation, this person, this whatever is draining you, place those boundaries. You've seen the signs, you know what's up. You need to use your discernment here. Okay. They're saying it's a no-go. It's not good for you. They're saying wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Okay. And then Fool 2.0. Literally, I laughed so hard when these cards came out because I was shuffling and I shuffled. The Fool card came out in the reverse. I'm like, okay, wonder what this is about next to boundaries. And then I shuffle again. And then, a few shuffles later, this card comes out and it's Fool 2.0. They're like, this test, this thing that you've been really focused on trying to get to move forward, and you've been put in this period of stagnation, of things not moving forward, it's because you needed to work on the structure. Okay, you needed to work on this, and you need to understand at a deeper level that your discernment is also key. Okay, you have to use your discernment. You have to place those boundaries. And if people do not observe those, then they do not value you. It's all about coming back home to the self, loving yourself, okay? And then seizing these opportunities with that Fool 2.0. And look, it's the infinity symbol. We got 8 viewers watching right now. Infinity, okay? So take the inspired action, not the action out of, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to leap right now or else I'm not going to have it. I got to do something right now or else it's gone. You don't use it, you lose it, whatever it is. They're saying, wait, use your discernment here. Are you operating from a space of lack, or are you operating from a space of abundance and divinely inspired action? Okay, there is a difference. Because if you're operating from a space of lack, you are chasing what is fleeting. Okay, it is running from you. It is ever fleeting. It's always just without your grasp. Okay, outside of your grasp, whatever that means. My words don't know what they're doing before they roll off the tip of my tongue today. Sorry, guys. But it's because you've had this period of rebirth. Okay, because that death card in the reverse right next to the Fool 2.0. So it's like, wait for the divinely inspired action, and this is your rebirth. This is the point where, what's been in gestation, you finally get it out, you birth it into creation, and it takes its first breath. Okay, so taking this divinely inspired action is the first breath of your new creation, your new life. And you're Queen of Pentacles, baby. You're solid. Okay. You don't have to chase anything down. You're abundant as fuck. Why are you going to go chase down a quarter, rolling down the street? You've got Mr. DuckTales. Scrooge? What is his name? You guys know who I'm talking about. That guy. You got piles of coin in a huge vault that you could swim in. Okay. Why are you going to go chasing a quarter rolling down the sidewalk? It makes no sense. So stay in that abundance. Understand that, yeah, things might be stuck right now, but they're about to move forward because of that divinely inspired action, because of that abundance mindset, and because of the clarity this new cycle. Scrooge McDuck. Thank you, Holly. I don't know. I was thinking, no, it can't be, that's DuckTales. And I'm thinking Scrooge, like the Christmas story. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. My brain wasn't working with that one. So new beginnings, that sword is facing up. This is truth, clarity. This is recognizing, because you have the clarity of thought to recognize opportunities and even patterns, good or bad, doesn't matter, before, you know, it's like having the foresight, having the Claire Ebenezer Scrooge, yeah, um, having the clairvoyance, if you will, to see the road ahead, to see the path ahead. It's like, yeah, things might be foggy right now. You can't see the next step in front of you, but just wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Don't seize this one. Okay, this is not the path. Wait for that inspired action. Okay, and then pounce on that motherfucker, because that's your opportunity. But you're being taught discernment right now. So if you kind of jump too soon on some kind of opportunity, don't be surprised if it kind of backfires in your face a little bit. So, or a big bit, or a big bit, because you need to clear this energy. So you're gonna learn the lesson. The lesson is here for you to learn. Okay. This is Earth School. This is the school of hard knocks. They never said it was going to be easy. Okay. Nobody ever told you that. Go look at your contract. Tell me where it says it was going to be easy. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys. That was kind of funny. I laugh at the way that messages come through sometimes, just because the way that they come through. Money is coming, y'all. Okay. That abundance is here. Claim it. Know it. Get in that divine feminine energy and receive it. I really need to WD-40 this chair, but I never remember. So good luck on that one. Okay. I don't know, that seems kind of abrupt, the way that it ended today, but I don't know. I think it's like that more often than not. Hey Patrick. How are you, love? And how is Mr. Zeus doing? I know I haven't asked about him. I just knew he was going to be better, and I was like, okay, he's magically all better now. But I haven't like 3D checked in with you. How's he doing? You're welcome. Thank you, Anna. Okay. Cleaning up my mess here. I have my cards. They all have to be just so, and they have to be neatly stacked and like in similar sizes. Thank you, Ben. I love you. All right. So we are talking about anchoring in those new timelines today. We've been talking about what it looks like when shit starts to hit the fan and the reality starts to chaotically fall apart while simultaneously restructuring itself. And it can be scary, and it can be like that little the little video of the little girl that's, I think it's a little girl, might be a little boy actually, I don't remember, it's been a while since I've seen it, but you know what I'm talking about. They're holding on to their like mom's arm and screaming because they're on this roller coaster or something that's going around and around in circles. And it's always captioned like what your spiritual journey actually be like, or something like that. Oh, Zeus is doing amazing. Good. I'm so happy. So it can feel like that, a bit chaotic, bit scary, a bit like nothing is solid, right? We talked about that in between space where you could even feel like, and I do this a lot, my body will physically feel like it's being spun around, like gravity is off for some reason. I'll just have this, and sometimes it comes through as an impending sense of doom. That does happen. I've talked to you guys about that. But other times there's like this rush of excitement and curiosity that just kind of hits me like a wall, and then it just feels like I'm in a vortex or something. Do you guys feel like that? Does anyone else get those kinds of feelings when there's, and then something big always happens, right? Some kind of life altering or path altering thing takes place, and you're like, okay, that's why I felt that way. I don't know. Is it just me? Okay, so we're going to talk about, we did talk about what is a quantum or a timeline shift, but we do have some new people in here, so I guess I can graze over that again. It is a quantum choice point, okay, a vibrational leap and the embodiment of a new frequency. It is going from one trajectory, think of it like railroad tracks, one trajectory, and then those railroad tracks switch, right, and lock into place, and then you start going off in a completely different direction. And it can be positive or it can be negative from your perspective, doesn't matter. Hey, Steph. It's just me. I'm the only weirdo that feels those, like, I, physical effects. You're gaslighting me. I know you do too. Um, so the difference between desiring a new reality versus embodying it. Okay. Embodying that new reality is having faith before you have the evidence, right? Believing before you see. Let's see. So we did talk about how timelines collapse and converge before new one stabilizes yesterday. And if you didn't catch that, heart palpitations, I get those too. Yeah. Like the fluttery, and or my heart will just stop for like a beat or two and then come back with a strong one. Anyone else get that? Or is that also just me? But yeah, so I know most of the ultra sensitives in here know what I'm talking about. So yesterday we did talk about how chaotic it can be whenever one timeline is deconstructing and the other one is constructing itself at the same time. Sorry, I was reading. You too, Anna. Yeah, so you guys know what I'm talking about. So it can be very chaotic. It can be a lot like, the Matrix is just on the fritz. You're super sensitive, totally. I know you are. But like with me, whenever I noticeably like leapt, I did a quantum leap on timelines, and it's like all of the sludge was very tangible around me, and I was like, what the hell? My timeline is always like, my interactions in public are really great, and the kind of people that I just coexist with out in public are usually pretty chill hippie type people, like really great people. um but then that next day it was just like everyone on the road was going 15 miles an hour under the speed limit, even in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. Okay. I don't know if I stressed that, but on the highway and in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. So I'm like, why are all of these Matrix people, doing this? And then I got out and I'm like, ew, ew, ew. They're all talking about and acting in these crazy, just toxic, yucky ways. I'm like, what the hell? But I knew that I was going to have, because I do anyway, I experience noticeable changes whenever I change timelines. So I knew to expect it, but it was really big. And I'm like, why is it so big this time? It's because the adjustment that I made, the leap that I made was a great one. So, so of course, the sludge, all of the chaos energy as things are deconstructing and then being constructed. Hi, Catherine. How are you, gorgeous? It was really very significantly noticeable. Um, Going well until today. Just, you got to roll with the emotions that come up for you, Cassandra. I know it's super difficult, but we get triggered. We, like the past week of readings and of what we've talked about have really been all about this. So definitely go back and catch those if you didn't. But, you know, you will have these triggering situations happen so that you can release these emotions that have sometimes been buried for a very long time, so that you can, recognize them, so you can validate them, you can feel them and express them, and then let them go. um, when you are in the act of, becoming more spiritually aware of, um, embarking on this journey that you are on, you're on a healing journey. It's going to be difficult. There's going to be triggering situations that happen. There are going to be, people, places, things, all the knowns, that are going to trigger you in different ways. And it's all about sitting with yourself, having the love and the patience for yourself to sit with yourself and work through these things, because at those periods of time where you were traumatized or where you were hurt, um, you didn't have that in those moments. So, yeah, just come to terms with your emotions surrounding that, that conversation, and reassess, is this adding to my happiness and my joy, my abundance, or is this taking from me? And only you know the answer to that one. So, definitely sit with that, okay, and do all the healing work that you need to. Don't just go and, you know do like an intense, okay, I'm going to heal and I'm going to feel all of these things, like what else can I find to feel right now? So don't do that. Okay. Be patient with yourself. It's going to come in waves, so give it the attention as you address it, as it comes. Okay. Give it the attention that it needs and move through those things. Be patient with yourself though. Okay. Because we can get very down on ourselves for not being able to handle it as well, as we think that we should. And you know that you're handling it well when you're actually doing the work, right? So don't question whether you're doing it well or not. Just be authentic and feel it, express it, and, move through it. Yeah, betrayal is a really, really sticky emotion, and I'm sending you so much love. Um, so, okay, let me get back on track here. Evidence that you've anchored in a new timeline, and how to sustain that shift. Keep your frequency consistent. Discipline, right? We talked about that a little bit here with, consistency. Consistency is key. I need to be patient with others more than myself. It's hard sometimes to be patient with others, Steph. I know, but, um, sometimes it's not warranted. Okay. Being too patient with others, isn't always authenticity. So, and I know you know that. And I know that you're like spiritual daddy over there, dropping truth comments all over the place. So I know you know, but you brought it up. So I wanted to address that just to set an example. All right. So keeping your frequency consistent isn't about spiritually bypassing these things and, not allowing these triggers to bother you, which is spiritual bypassing, because you're completely trying to, band-aid over it or avoid it or whatever. Okay. You have to sit with it. You have to validate it. It's part of you, and you've externalized that. So you need to work with this emotion or with this. Hey, spirit daddy. Steph has a new nickname. You're welcome. So he tells me to stop mothering everybody. Like, who gets custody? Okay, Steph, like, who gets custody here whenever we're at odds? um, it's keeping your frequency consistent is all about doing the work, right? But it's not getting stuck there. It's not, wallowing in these, states of consciousness, states of emotion. It's, yes, expressing those, feeling all of those things, because they are valid. They wouldn't be here if they weren't. Okay. So giving them that validation, but also helping to integrate, identify with those. This is why, okay, now work with those. You guys know how to do shadow work. If you don't, there's go on YouTube, because Facebook now deletes my videos after 30 days. So go on YouTube. Got a ton of stuff over there. But part of anchoring and keeping your frequency consistent is confronting these waves of shadow that surface. But being consistent with yourself, giving yourself, hey, we're going to, wallow in this for like a day, or, if it's really traumatic, like a week, but we're going to start coming out of it. We're going to allow ourselves some time daily or once a week to revisit and see if there's anything else that we need to, work with here, or as it comes. That's the best way to deal with it, is as it comes. But some people feel better about doing this work if they can assign and kind of outline certain times where they can do this. And I know, because I'm one of those, I I have so much responsibility that I can't just right now in the middle of something else that I'm responsible for break this all down and do the shadow work right here in this moment, because I'm either working or dealing with, kids stuff, or, whatever it is I'm dealing with. So okay, after the kids go to bed this evening, I'm going to carve out this time and I'm going to sit with this. I'm going to ponder this. I'm going to express this, whatever it is. And, for those times where I can't just do it in the moment. And there are times where I do it in the moment because time warrants at that time. So being consistent can look like a bunch of different things, basically. Okay. But consistency in your healing, consistency in your self-love is of paramount importance. Um, don't seek validation for the old reality. Okay. Detach from needing proof, evidence. Like, we talked about this, I think yesterday, when I was bringing up the fact that I've known people that hold on to like journals from 30 years ago where someone wronged them, and they keep it and they're like, see, this is the evidence. If there's someone I'm talking to and I tell them about this and they don't believe my experience, then I have this journal to validate, look, this really did happen. It's all, pen to paper, it's recorded. Okay. So yeah, we've all been through trauma. We don't all hold on to it. That's poison. So if you continue to drink the poison, knowing that it's poison, how can you blame anyone else? Okay. So stop trying to go back to the past, to whatever it is that you are clinging on to, whatever pain, traumas, situations that didn't turn out in your favor. Let it go, because that's holding on to lack. And if you're holding on to lack, a whole bunch of lack, you don't have any room for your abundance that's trying to come in. Okay. The past was just a lesson. Thank you, Wendy. And you learn from it. You apply what you've learned moving forward, and you let it go. Okay? Let it fucking go. Holy shit, yeah. For real, huh? Keep drinking poison and suffer until the suffering awakens you. Yeah. Yeah. Or I know people, about two of them exactly, that I can count off the top of my head, that enjoy writhing in this loathing and this listen to every single person who's ever looked at me sideways from the first breath that I took in this vehicle, this body, until 2 seconds ago when I started telling you the story. Let me list them out for you. I got bullet points, I got PowerPoint presentations and all the shit. Like, I know two people, okay, two that I can think of right off the top of my head like this. So not everyone awakens from their misery, sadly, but that's the experience that they chose for themselves in this lifetime. So who am I to try to intervene, right? That's on you. That's what you chose. That's obviously you're 60 years in, 70 years in, and you haven't let it go thus far, so probably not going to happen, but I really hope you do. I really hope you heal. Too much energy, right? Way too much. So, and they're just constantly their voice changes over time to a really like grumpy, grumbly, like, and anything good happens, they're always like, oh yeah, well, I don't think so. Just wait, it's going to backfire or whatever it is. They're just like, oh, they did something nice for you. Well, they did something shitty to 10 other people I know. So, that kind of thing. Um, so just, we have to stop living in the past, even with like our histories and, being so um, lied to, right? This whole facade. Yeah, we're pissed off about it. There's a lot of people that are pissed off about it. Conspiracy theorists, are like number one on the list. But holding on to that isn't going to bridge to the new earth paradigm, right? Bringing that shit, that toxic nastiness, all the lies, all the hatred, all of the um what's the word? I don't know. I can't even think. I can't even think of the word. I don't like negative words. So, but yeah, all of the resentment for having been lied to, having been just completely bamboozled and tricked out of our own power for so long. Yeah, we're fucking pissed. Yeah, it's ridiculous. No, it shouldn't operate the way it does right now. But if we are creating this new earth paradigm, how is throwing that in their faces and lynching them and whatever people are wanting to do to these people in power, it's not gonna that's not contributing to the new earth paradigm. It's just they're trying to bring old baggage into the new. So stop taking evidence from past experiences and all of these manifestations that may even currently be around you reflecting in your reality. Pay as much attention to them as you need to for your day to day, just as much as you really just the bare minimum, but keep your eyes on the prize. Keep building the new. Okay. We can't bring the old with us into the new. We have to let it go. It's not about vengeance. It's not about, who lied to whom anymore. Because honestly, they're all puppets, if you want to be real. In true justice, it obviously depends on the context. But yes, ultimately, yes. And the way that humans perceive justice isn't always the way that I can perceive it, and with my own abilities. So, like letting go of all of this stuff as it's crashing with the old earth and the new earth paradigm and stepping into that does not look like putting these people to unalivement. How they do in the US and certain other countries. Not very many still have the death penalty, by the way, but yeah, it's like the vengeance thing, that's not justice. An eye for an eye, that whole thing, it's not justice. It keeps the cycle going. You wronged me, so I'm going to wrong you back in as big of a way or bigger, and that's going to get you back. That's going to make me feel validated. That's going to make me feel satisfied, or so I think. And then the other person that's on the receiving end of that is like, oh no, you know what, you did this to me, I'm going to do this to you just the same or greater. And then it causes this vicious cycle. So what we're doing here is we're not paying attention to those things anymore. We're not holding on to those. We're not even trying to use those old structures to hold them accountable. We are simply creating our own heaven on earth and harmonizing with one another. And those old structures crumble and fall because they're obsolete, because we've built something newer, something better. So that's the justice that, furthering humanity, furthering us, growing us, advancing us is the justice in this situation. And that's for the collective as I see it. So, mirror check. Does your outer world reflect your inner world? If not, it's time to refine your focus, reassess, right? Refine your frequency and release what you need to let go of in order to continue welcoming in the new. Staying hydrated and grounded is very important when you're undergoing any kind of major shifts. Because especially whenever you are experiencing a lot of emotion is water, okay? And you probably have even heard from people like if you've been crying a lot, you need to drink more water because you need to hydrate yourself. And you know that water is very draining, or sorry, not water, crying is very draining, right? You can cry for 5 or 10 minutes, like a really good, long, heavy cry. And then you're like, whew, I feel like I ran a marathon today. So it's important for you to replenish yourself, drink water if you need to, stay grounded, program your water. Okay. Water will help you heal through it, flow through it. Okay. So program that water. Anchor it into your routine, create rituals, daily choices, and thoughts that match the frequency of the new timeline, having already manifest. I'm going to go through real quick and see if I missed any comments. I can't see them all like as they come through right now. Let's learn, forgive, and heal through it. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything like questions or anything like that. Okay. So acting as if when you are trying to manifest something, right? Assuming the frequency, the law of assumption. There's not just the law of attraction. There's the law of assumption. There's different laws. We can get into that maybe next week. But assuming that frequency of the version of you that already has the thing, what would that version of me that already has the thing do regularly in their day? And start incorporating a couple of just daily practices that you that's manifest that thing does. Okay. Anchor that into your experience daily. Align your thoughts with the having of it. You feel like you're suppressing. Yeah. Because it's difficult to be able to really focus and face those things a lot of the time. So it's your turn to be brave. It's time to show yourself, you know what? All of these other people in my experience may not have had my back, may not have helped me heal through situations, through traumas, but you know what? I got me. So you, the self you are now, go back to those versions of you that nobody had their back and pick her up and, talk with her, do the shadow work with that version of you so that that version of you is no longer controlling this version of you, because that's subconscious. They get filed away in the subconscious or the unconscious. So you have to give them your attention. You have to help them to feel safe and comfortable. And then you will notice that you start feeling more safe and comfortable. And it gets easier to be able to work with those past versions of you and those shadows. Okay, recommit daily or just, regularly. You don't have to do it every single day because that can be operating from a space of lack too. Do it as if, okay, we're reprogramming, it takes 30 days to make or break a habit. So we're going to program this habit in now and do it in that way. Not, I have to do this every single day so that I can align, because you're actioning it too much. Yes, we learn from every experience. So it's not going to be a one and done. Like, yes, we talk about set it and forget it. To set the intention and to, keep the vision, but also continue living your life, continue trying to be in joy every possible minute of every single day. Okay. Reach for the highest feeling emotion in every moment that you possibly can without spiritually bypassing. If things come up, you need to address them so that they're not subconsciously running the show. Okay. Um, Surround yourself with people and frequencies that reinforce the new timeline, not challenge it. Okay. That looks like if you were, experiencing like having a bunch of friends, but none of them were really there for you. None of them were really true friends. They were just more like surface level friendships or acquaintances. But they, this is my best friend. I've known them for whatever. But they don't really have your best intentions at heart. Start surrounding yourself with people that are pure at heart, that are loyal, that are, supportive. Start seeking out communities like this one, right? So surrounding yourself with frequencies that complement and support you rather than siphon and suction from you. Yes, totally go support and help younger you heal. Yes, yes, yes. Very, very important. Um, and often it's the best strategy, in my opinion, to do the shadow work to help yourself to heal. Especially if you felt like if you have any abandonment wounds or anything like that, being you, this version of you in the now, going back to those like children or teenagers or young adults or whatever that didn't ever feel supported, that can make all the difference in the world. And you can immediately feel it once you do those things. Um, so if something feels unfamiliar, if it's outside of your comfort zone, but it's kind of exciting, but it's kind of scary at the same time, um, that's new timeline. Uh, Especially if it feels unfamiliar, okay? Because the comfort zone or the familiar isn't always positive and beneficial and healthy for you, right? A lot of people that experience domestic violence situations will stay in the same relationship for 20, 30, 40 years because that's what they know, because they're too afraid. Like, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to survive? Who else would ever love me? All kinds of lies that people tell themselves. So just because it's outside of your comfort zone does not mean that it's negative, that it's scary, that it's going to hurt you. And you need to start to reprogram that part of you. Sorry, my voice is starting to go out. Um, okay. Celebrate the evidence and let it multiply. Whenever you celebrate the evidence, even if it's just the angel numbers that are telling you, hey, you're headed for a new fulfilling connection. Here it is. Congratulations. And you're like, I haven't met anyone new. I don't have new friends. I don't have new love interests. I don't have new anything like that right now. Why am I seeing these numbers? Instead of that, say, oh, there's my sign. Here it is. It's coming. Celebrate it like it's already manifest. I'm so grateful and so excited that I have this new amazing friend in my life who's just going to click with me. We're just going to, be able to talk for hours without getting tired, and or a love person or a love person. Can you tell I've been single for a while? A love person or abundance, um, whatever it is, get excited, celebrate it, and be grateful, because you know what? That sign is a tangible sign. That is evidence. Okay. You're little Sherlock Holmes and you just come across a clue, and the next clue is going to lead you to the next clue, and that's going to lead you to the end of the rainbow where your pot of gold or your honey bun or your best friend or whatever you're trying to manifest, that's where it's sitting. Okay. So pay attention to the evidence. It starts to multiply Where you place your focus is going to grow. Okay. So focus on those things and celebrate them and be excited. Um, you can do like a reflection journal, where, or I like to do these things just out loud. I don't like to really journaling isn't really my thing. It just takes a lot of effort for me, honestly. So the ADHD is at play there. But you deserve the mostest lovingest person, love person. Yes, totally. Um, so a lot of times I'll ask myself things like, what am I doing now? Or what decisions am I making now that the old me wouldn't have made? What kind of decisions would the old version of me have made? Or what kind of actions would that old version of me have made? And what is the new one doing now? um, Ask yourself, am what I seeing right now proving to me that this shift is real? Is this shift real? Um, and you can ask yourself, where am I still kind of wobbling between timelines? Where am I still straddling the line here? How can I come more into alignment with the timeline and trajectory that I have chosen? And see what kind of answers come up. Do our automatic writing if you want to do journaling and automatic writing. Those would be perfect opportunities to do that. So, internal evidence that you have shifted and you're now in the new timeline. You no longer crave what used to comfort you during misalignment. Okay. Be it attention, um, substances, people, self sabotaging type of behaviors, any of those things and more. Okay. The things, people, or thoughts that once triggered you now don't really bother you. You're kind of neutral. You feel safe in the unknown, even if parts of you still feel a little stretched. Okay, if you're feeling a little too thin, you're not really sure where this is going, but hey, this is where I feel guided. I'm just gonna trust it because I know that I got me and my guides got me, and I know that I am the divine embodied in flesh. So how can I not be okay? You're acting in alignment even when no one is watching. That's a big one for a lot of people. You're acting in alignment even when no one is watching. Um, you feel less urgency and more trust, even with no proof. Your default thoughts have shifted from doubt to possibility to excitement. You talk to yourself differently, more kinder, clearer, and more empowered than before. Emotional reactions are much slower, softer, and or completely rerouted. So, using Matt as an example again, he didn't get out of character. He didn't get out of balance whenever he saw someone side-eyeing him. Like before, he would have called him out. But now he's just like, nah, they just don't know. They don't know what they don't know. And I'm just going to keep going. So, not acting from or reacting from the same space as you might have before. Crikey. Allergies, guys. It's allergy season. So stuff's been blowing around. And yeah, I've been a little scratchy lately. Sorry. Um, you find joy or peace in simplicity and not the intensity and chaos of those old situations. A lot of people are confused on what love looks like because they think that, feeling like you own the person and then fighting because they look someone else's way or something like that, that shows that you really care. That's toxic. That is not love. So whenever you are choosing your own joy and your own peace over that chaotic type of energy, that's when you know that you have up leveled. Okay. You're not stressing over how anymore. You just know it's unfolding and You're open to the possibilities. You're open to being surprised. And you might even say, like, hey, universe, surprise me, because this is getting good. I want to see how much better this can get, and keep on with that momentum. Your intuition starts to feel louder than logic, and it's right. And you know that. So you start to, just like a radio receiver, you tune from one station, that logic mind, okay, the egoic mind, the left brain, and you start turning that dial and you get it more over into the right brain. So that starts to become louder, and the other one starts to turn to static, and you can't even hear it anymore, and eventually it tunes out, right? It's not going to tune out all the way, but you know what I mean. So your intuition is going to be more recognizable, I guess is the way I wanted to word that. You have the urge to organize, clean, detox, or clear space. That could be physically, that could be emotionally, mentally. Take it how it resonates for you. Um, Hold on, I gotta switch over to see that whole comment. Oh, oh, whoa, whoa. I don't know what happened there. Oh, you guys are talking. Okay, just checking. You're making decisions that the old you would have avoided out of fear. You recognize past versions of you with compassion and not shame. So when you go back and you sit with those younger versions of you, instead of judgment or feeling shameful or even guilty, you understand that they were doing the best with what they had, with the information they had at the time. And you understand that that was set up in that way so that you could learn a more big picture lesson, right? So you're more understanding with that other version of you, which helps you to, integrate things if they happen to come up, like these waves of things. If they resurface, you're going to have more compassion and love for those versions of you instead of the judgment. Blitz my whole house except the kitchen. Oh my gosh. All right. External evidence. Unexpected support, money, opportunities, or solutions will appear. You've noticed old stagnant relationships falling away peacefully, right? No chaotic blow up, just kind of drifting away from each other because they have their life, you have yours. New people arrive who feel deeply familiar or aligned, which would be soul tribe, soul family, right? We talked about this, I think, last week. Super important, Patrick. Healing the inner child is super important, definitely. You're physically relocated, rearranged, or repulsed by old spaces. So, people, places, things like that, you can feel repelled, like literally repelled from these things, these old things that you might have, you used to entertain, you used to be perhaps even comfortable around, are very uncomfortable. You hear or see affirmations of your new path everywhere, like angels, numbers, signs, synchronicities. Conversations reflect your growth back to you. Like you can literally see how much you've grown by having these kinds of conversations, even if others don't realize it. You see the reflections of the new you in others, especially in strangers, because your external circumstances, your external environments are going to reflect back to you what is within you, right? So that's really going to be something significantly noticeable, especially if you are, doing a major leap. Offers, invitations, or collaborations begin aligning with your values. You feel found by your soul tribe or purpose without forcing it. Technology, social media, or algorithms reflect the new identity shift. Like, we've talked about, yes, going it through and weeding like your social media platforms and things like that so that you're only seeing the things that you want to see, because it trains those algorithms, and then all of a sudden, you know, it completely shifts from one way of existing to another, and it's like a completely different person's social media platform, but it's the same one. So you find yourself living in the reality you once visualized. Wait, huh? Has anyone ever had your peak in frequency and your higher self talking so many affirmations out your mouth, and it's just the greatest feeling? Yes, Matt, I love that. That you're channeling, babe. Where were we? You're no longer emotionally available for what drains or distracts you. You are holding those boundaries, enforcing those boundaries. Time feels distorted in a good way. It could be speeding up or standing still, like I talked about. It's like having all of these things done in this little bitty amount of time, and it's so crazy. Um, you're witnessing rapid manifestations, like instantaneous manifestations. Hey, Jay, happy birthday. I've got a gift. The boys and I are going to pop by and drop it off to you after the podcast. So, well, I'll message you and make sure that you're home and like, and it's a good time, obviously. Otherwise, you can pop by whenever you get a minute in the next couple of days. But we have a gift for you. Okay. Where are we? Yeah, instantaneous manifestations that match your recent thoughts or choices. Think about, you know, whenever you just think about a thought, you just think something, and then it shows up in your news feed, right? And you never said anything out loud. I know it's happened to me a ton of times, and I know a lot of you guys said that it happens to you too. So that is instantaneous manifestation. Um, your environment, like your home, clothes, belongings, things like that, feel lighter or more luxurious. It's like your entire experience just feels softer and lighter. Animals, nature, or your body itself seem more responsive to you, your thoughts, telepathy, right? Um, old cycles attempt to re-enter, but they bounce off or feel fake, like deja vu, but without the hook, without, you know, the grip that it might have on you otherwise. And you're calm amongst chaos because your internal world no longer matches the outer noise. So, no matter what kind of storms you're walking through, no matter how thick the energy is when you walk into a room, you're all right because you know that you're solid, you're protected. You might do some extra protection and shielding or whatever, but you don't respond so viscerally to that chaos energy because everything is balanced within. Okay, you are the eye of the storm, so it's all calm. So yeah, that's what I have prepared for you. I guess today was very abrupt. I don't have, you know, with the reading or with that topic, I didn't really have a landing, like a smooth landing. It was just like, okay, well, I'm done. Yes, happy birthday, Jay. You've had this a few times, Matt. That's awesome. Jay is very, very loved. Let the YouTube algorithm guide me down my spiritual journey. I love that, Holly. That's really cool too. Um, it's really funny because I don't know, it just struck me as funny, but it's so accurate and so valid. Like you start to open up to these videos and those start to like suggest more things to you. So it's a really beautiful way for your higher self and your guides to be able to work with you. That's kind of why I laughed, because it's sidestepping that left brain kind of, you know. And they can just throw whatever they want at you, and with the way that your guides bitch at you sometimes, Holly, it struck me as funny. You're welcome, Patrick. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. I love you. Yeah. So Holly, just the way that your guides come through, they're like, yeah, you can't not see this if we throw it in front of your eyeballs. So, oh, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Steph. I love you. Sweet dreams. So yeah, tomorrow and Saturday are my days off, right? They know best. Oh, we all love you, Susan. You're so precious. Always saying that she loves everyone in here at the end of every broadcast. So we love you, Susan. But yeah, tomorrow and Saturday are my days off. I will be back with you guys on Sunday. I do intend to do a group hypnosis that day. So if you would like to join us for a group regression, then please make sure to mark Sunday on your calendar. It's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and 9 p.m. British Summer Time. So make sure that you remember. I will be tagging you guys just in case you forget. But yeah, have a beautiful weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. Oh, tomorrow's your son's prom. Tell him have a wonderful time and be safe. We're all going to send extra love and protection to your son because, you know, prom with any kids, even if they're not involved in any kind of drinking or anything like that, it can get a little bit, you know, rowdy. So, sending extra protection for all of those connected. And yes, hypnosis. We're going to do a group regression on Sunday. So we'll see what we're all regressed to, right? Well, except me, I can't be regressed. I have to do the regressing. But I love you guys. I will see you guys on Sunday. Take care. Have a beautiful weekend. Mwah. Love you.